everybody? It's your girl Sofia here, back on Sofia's Football Talk. This time for a new episode of the Opps. This one more special as we are previewing the Carabao Cup final between Chelsea and Liverpool. Will it be another snooze fest? I don't think it will be that case this time. I think it's going to be a good one. I'm joined by some new guests, some new faces on the channel. We have Liverpool fan Els here. Are you good? How are you, sis? You doing well?
I'm good. I'm good. Looking forward to the final. Yesterday lifted my spirits a bit more. But yeah, all good, all good. Should be a good game, hopefully. Hopefully for the neutral.
Oh yeah. I Big up to you. And we have Chelsea fan Charlie. How are you doing? Are you good as well?
Yeah, all good. Feel a bit more confident over the from the last few results we've picked up heading into the final than a few weeks ago. But yes, hopefully be a good game. Hopefully we can, reverse the trend of us losing at Wembley to Liverpool. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see what happens.
100%. Guys, by the way, I do have both of these guys' socials in the description box. So make sure you check them out. We got Elle's Twitter, and also she is featured on Gold Diggers UK. Check out their YouTube channel down below. I also got Charlie's personal YouTube channel, The Blue Brother, as well as he be a host on the Chelsea Fan TV. So make sure you check all of that down below. But let's start off with, or before I forget, like the video, of course, very important. The more likes we get, the more able to push the video out there for more people to see. And of course, subscribe as well. Join the SFT family. Let's start off though with Chelsea. I mean, Charlie, you came out with a very big performance against Man City very recently. A draw, maybe could have even won, if you would have just hold on to that lead a little bit longer. Either way, a draw at the Etihad, incredible. How do you feel after that game and leading up to this Carabao Cup final?
Yeah, look, definitely feel more confident than I did a few weeks ago when we got hammered 4-1 at Anfield, and obviously followed it up by losing to Wolves as well. But the last three results have been good. Put in a very good performance away at Villa, won at Crystal Palace, despite the first half being terrible. And then the City game, we were brilliant. I know obviously we couldn't quite hold on, but we should have been out of sight. Should have been 2 or 3 up. Sterling had a good opportunity. Nicholas Jackson should have done better. But, we were positive. We did well. Defensively, we were a lot better. We've been letting a lot of goals in this season, but the last 3 games we've definitely tightened up a little bit. The Sassy and Colwell partnership on Saturday was good. So yeah, look, the confidence is definitely improved from a few weeks ago for sure, but I'm not going to sit here and pretend that like we're favourites or anything like that. I think it's probably gone from a 70-30 game a few weeks ago to maybe a 60-40 now in Liverpool's favour. I think it's definitely closed a little bit given our form. And I think the injuries to Liverpool as well, with a few key players missing, maybe that just closes it up a little bit as well. But yeah, I think Chelsea can feel confident of where we are right now. We're playing with a bit more freedom. Players seem to be playing with a bit more confidence. But you still don't know what Chelsea's going to turn up. We've said a number of times this season that we put a few good results together and you think, right, we're going to kick on and go on a bit of a run. And then there's always one shocking performance around the corner. And you just got to hope that it's not going to be Sunday. But yeah, I think we're definitely in a better space than we were a couple of weeks back with the heavy defeats to Wolves and Liverpool. But it's 3 wins at the end of the day. It's not like, suddenly everything's all right. We are still 10th. But this final, if we could win somehow, then this would be huge for us in terms of it gets us European football next season. Yes, it's only Conference League, but it ticks that off. It's the first trophy for Poch in England. It's the first trophy for this new ownership, and the first trophy for this new group of players. And it could also be the first trophy for a lot of these young guys that have come in and haven't actually won anything. So yeah, there's a lot riding on it for us.
100%. You mentioned, the Sassy. I'm not gonna lie, he looked very good in that game. I think sometimes he's been getting a lot of flack this season, but in that particular game, I was very impressed. You didn't have Thiago Silva playing. What are your thoughts about him in particular? Do you think this might potentially be his final season that he won't? I mean, the guy's 39 will probably be 40, I believe, sometime this year. So, he ain't getting any younger. But the fact that he's been going on for this long is remarkable in itself. But does he maybe be a liability in this Chelsea team?
I wouldn't say a liability. Look, we all love him. You know, he's an absolutely exceptional player. You know, to still perform at that level at 39 years of age is very, very good. Not many players can do that. But I think it's fair to say that, yes, I wouldn't say he's become a liability, but he's become a target for the opposition. I think when he plays, it causes us, you know, we have to make too many tactical adjustments when he plays. Like the last couple of games where, you know, Villa away and obviously City away, probably two of our best defensive performances, he didn't play. You know, it allows, when we've got more pace in the back line, whether it's Colwell and Disasi, Badia, Shield, whoever's playing, we can push up quicker, we can push up higher. And there's less of a gap between midfield and defence. Enzo and Caicedo don't have to cover as much ground defensively. And we look a lot more of a balanced side. Now, I'm not saying that if Silva doesn't play on Sunday and we lose, like, you know, that, you know, you're not blaming obviously all the poor form on him, but there's no getting away from the fact that at 39, despite his football brain still working, the legs aren't really there. He's targeted with balls in behind, you know, and he hasn't got the pace to push up, and pushing up in the back line is crucial for this Chelsea team. So, yeah, look, I love him. He's going to move on at the end of the season. I don't think he's going to be offered a new contract. He's been exceptional for us. I thought when we signed him at 36, we might get one season, maybe two, but to get three, and he's been pretty much a mainstay for all of them. Won Champions League, Club World Cup, Super Cup. It's been one of the best signings we've made just as a club in general. But I don't think there's no harm in saying that, yeah, at this point of time now, his inclusion in the side is not beneficial.
Mm-hmm. No, I hear you. I mean, it's a class player, of course. And like you said, with the fact that you've gotten 3 really good years of him, hey, you know, what else can you ask for? And being a pivotal part of getting that Champions League and whatnot. So I hear that. Els, what are your thoughts with Chelsea's season so far? And after, of course, as we talked a little bit about, or hearing Charlie's thoughts with the Man City performance, do you picture that they could be up for it against you guys?
No, they'll definitely be up for it. It's a cup final, but also Liverpool from our side, we're very wounded in terms of numbers. I think we've only got 13 available, like senior players available. So we're very, very short. But yeah, the Man City away performance will give Chelsea a lot of confidence, because barring a couple of questionable subs from Poch that I thought really turned the game, where I thought Chelsea probably could have won that because they really lost their counter-attacking threat after a few subs. They were good, but in terms of this season in general, it's been very, very up and down. I think the expectation, especially from the summer, with the amount of money they spent, of course, took Caicedo from us. You're expecting at least maybe top 6, but to be 10th is very underwhelming. But they've got themselves to a cup final now. 100% want to get something positive out of the season and possibly push for European places. So, yeah, it's I know Charlie says 60-40. I think it's always 50-50. I think especially with the players we have out with the occasion, it takes 190 minutes. And we have to be very aware of that. We are the stronger team on paper, maybe not on paper at the moment, but it's a cup final. Anything can happen.
100%. And as you mentioned, you are at the moment more like a wounded animal, of course, with having key players out. How do you reckon it goes with, you know, Mohamed Salah? Will he be able to make it?
That's the question on everyone's minds. I actually don't know. Him and Darwin, the latest we heard is that Salah, it's more of a fatigue thing. And Darwin actually picked up a little knock. So they're both muscle injuries, but nothing too significant. So I'm not sure they'll start, but they could have a chance of being in the squad. But I think I think it might be a bit of a nightmare in terms of Chelsea preparation of what side are Liverpool going to play, because I can't even tell you. It can be a number of different options, but I guess we're unpredictable in a way. But I'm confident that our players can step up. I think we've shown this season. A lot of people didn't expect us to be top, but what Klopp has always done really well is got the team believing that they can always find a way. So even with all these injuries, I think the team will be well up for it. It doesn't matter who plays. So yeah, we'll just give it a go.
I think that's fair to say, 100%. And Charlie, with Poch, what are your thoughts about Poch? Honestly, do you think he's the guy?
I don't know if he's the guy. That's the honest answer. I don't know. Look, when we were looking to appoint a new manager, he wasn't really on my radar of choices. But when it kind of came round to it, and it was, obviously it was going to be him, I sort of warmed to it a bit more in terms of the makeup of the squad, where we're at this point in the project, and what the new ownership are looking to do. His, record of developing youngsters is good. So it seemed like a good fit. I'll be honest, I've been disappointed with him in large parts of this season. I think there's been poor in-game management, lack of tactical flexibility or willingness to adapt in games. In-game management's been poor. I think he's played a lot of players out of position. He's misprofiled certain players on a large number of occasions. And he's also not really made that much of an effort to try and connect with the fan base. Look, I know everyone's different, each to their own. But the fact that he's just never he never comes over and applauds the fans after games or anything like that. Look, that's his way of doing things. He's never done it. But I just think when you're trying to win a fan base over, yes, winning's going to help. But going over to the fans at the end, you don't have to come all the way over. Even if you just come to the halfway line or something, there's doesn't tend to show an appreciation as such. But look. For me, the answer is to not keep changing the manager, because you can't come in as an ownership and say you've got this long-term project with all these grand plans, and then you're switching the manager every 6-7 months. It doesn't work like that. So for me, you either stick by him for a few years and you just say, look, this is going to be the guy. We know it's going to be difficult for us. There's going to be ups and downs. We're going to lack consistency, but we believe in it, and it does take time to build something. Or you just rip the model up and you go back to what we were doing before, and you change managers every so often. So the answer is I don't know if he's the guy, but I think if he wins if he wins on Sunday, then I think he'll be here next season. The only way I can't see him being here is if we don't win any trophies and we don't qualify for Europe at all. Then I think obviously it's difficult to make the case for him to remain in the dugout. But I think from Chelsea's sake, somehow we do have to continue with him next season. But obviously he has to earn the right to continue as well, whether it's a Carabao Cup, whether it's qualifying for ex-European competition or whatever it may be. But I think I've been happy in some parts, but then I've been massively underwhelmed and disappointed in others as well. We can't hide away from the reality that we're 10th in the Premier League, and the players we've got at our disposal have better quality than where we're at. For me, we're a Europa League side right now, and we should be there. We can still get there, but we're going to need a massive second half of the season.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and as you mentioned, with him maybe not going to the fans and whatnot, I feel like as a neutral, I don't really see that connection that he has with Chelsea. I think I saw it way more with Spurs, so I felt like when he did get appointed by Chelsea that it was a bit odd. But and as you mentioned, Charlie, with the fact that he's very good at coaching the youngsters, I was thinking maybe it can work. You never know. But some of the decision that he's made in games in particular has been rather sus in my opinion. So I hear that. But who do you think will be the key players in your Chelsea squad that could do something?
Look, I think obviously Cole Palmer's going to be key. If he plays well, then we're definitely going to have an opportunity. I think Nicholas Jackson is going to be massive for us as well. I know people have kind of criticised him this season. Finishing is not great, absolutely, but he's a very good all-round footballer. He causes problems. His link-up play is good. His hold-up play is good. He offers an outlet when we're trying to play out, and he's just a nuisance. And if we're going to have an opportunity to win and a chance to win, then him, Cole Palmer, they're both going to be key. The fullbacks in Gusto and Chilwell are going to be key as well. And the centre back pairing also. I mean, look, there's key areas all over the pitch, but I think where we're going to have success, right? If we can do what Arsenal did against Liverpool at the Emirates, where they beat the press, and if Enzo Fernandez can put in a performance like Jorginho did that day, then I think we can definitely have some success, and we can cause Liverpool problems. I think we will get chances. We do create a lot of opportunities. We're just not the best at sticking them away. So yeah, for me, attack-wise, definitely Cole Palmer. The midfield battle is going to be key. Enzo, Caicedo, and Gallagher probably up against the likes of Endo, McAllister, and in all honesty, probably Ryan Gravenberch as well. That's going to be a key area of the pitch. And then I guess just not making mistakes at the back, depending on what frontline Liverpool are going to put out, whether it's Harvey Elliott on that right-hand side, if it's Salah, if Nunes is suddenly fit again. You're not really sure what combination it's going to be, but that whatever combination of players it is for Liverpool, they're going to be a threat, and they're going to come in and they're going to deliver, because right now, with how Liverpool are playing, with what Klopp's got going on there, the system works, and it doesn't matter who plays in the system. Everyone knows their job, and whoever comes in, they deliver. So for me, yes, okay, if Salah doesn't play, it makes it easier in theory, but whoever comes in is just as capable of doing a job as well. So I don't look at Liverpool and think, oh yes, they're going to be significantly weaker if some of these players don't play, because everyone that comes in is doing a job anyway.
Yeah, fair. Also, thoughts about Petrovic. I'm not gonna lie, he's been very impressive.
Yeah, he's been brilliant. He signed in 14 million quid from the MLS in the summer. He's had to wait a while to get his opportunity. Then Sanchez got injured. He's come in and he's been brilliant for us. He's a calming presence. Good shot stopper. Everything you want from a keeper. I'm not worried when he's on the ball at the back. He's been really, really impressive, and he looks like at this early stage that looks to be a very good deal for £14 million.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he definitely can be an important player for you guys in this cup final. Big about, by the way, people keep liking, and once again, I remind you, both of my guests' socials are in the description, so make sure you do follow them. Yes. Pick up the Bart says, how likely is it that Chelsea, Liverpool, oh God, my God, will finish over Man United in the league next season? Bart, is not about Man United this time. Okay, we're not gonna Bart, you do this all the time. We're not gonna focus on Man United today. Nice try though, Bart. Regardless, let's move on to Liverpool. Else, you had a very good win. Very, very good win against Luton. I'm not gonna lie. I got a little bit giddy when you guys were 1-0 down. I was thinking, surely you're coming back. And of course you did. 1-1, quickly 2-1. After that, I'm done. I couldn't do it no more. But how did you feel after that performance? Especially as you mentioned, key players are out, but you still are able to grind in those results either way, which is pretty impressive. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, I was impressed with Liverpool because I thought that given that we went 1-0 down at half time, we actually played a pretty good half. It just wasn't clicking. We just weren't making the right decisions in the final third, but we stayed patient and we just grew with the crowd. And that's what Liverpool have done really well this season. Whenever we've come up against a challenge, we've overcome it. And that's why we're where we're at. And I think that's what's going to fare us well coming towards the end of the season, of course, in the title race on Sunday. And I think the most important person is Klopp. His ability to make every player think they're important and that you're a key and valuable member. It allows everyone that comes in to perform to their best and to be ready when called upon. So whether it's Kwanzaa, whether it's Elliot taking over from Salah, it doesn't matter. Bradley, who I think has been brilliant since he's come in. It was actually unfortunate that we didn't have him for Arsenal, of course, because of his dad. But even the likes of Endo, who we bought for 15 million,
He's been good.
He's been excellent for us. Again, another player we missed at Arsenal. I think that Endo McAllister partnership that they're building is going to be really key come the run-in. So yeah, really impressed with how Liverpool came back, and yeah, I think it will give the team a lot of confidence that it doesn't matter who's out, we still have a good chance with Liverpool.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, I mean, Klopp being very important. This is his final season.
Yep.
What's about that? How did you feel initially when you heard that? I was shocked. I woke
hasn't
up
sunk in.
an hour
It
after
hasn't
the
sunk
news. So
in.
I was yeah.
It's such a blow. It's such a blow because I can't even remember life before Klopp. It's been so long. It's been nearly
True.
9 years. It's what he's done to this club, how he's transformed us. We were absolutely sleeping giants when he came in 8th place, and to get us right to the heights of football, to get us competing every season, even to the position we are in this season, because no one thought we would be here. He's rebuilt a whole midfield, brought in the likes of Konate over the years, but also implemented young players from the academy, because we've had injuries, not as bad as now. We've had injuries over the season, but for him and his coaching and how good of a coach he is the reason why we're where we're at. We always seem to overperform sometimes, even if our squad isn't necessarily like to the value of what Man City pay or what Chelsea pay or Man United. But he always that was Jurgen Klopp, and whoever comes in has got big shoes to fill.
100%. Speaking of that, I mean, you guys been linked with Xabi Alonso to replace him. Would you be for that? Would that be
100%?
Yeah. Okay.
He's my one of one choice. It has to be Xavi, and it's simply because not just what he's doing on the pitch, but I think the hardest thing to replace at Liverpool is Klopp the man. He's such a loved person in Liverpool. He's absolutely adored by the fan base. And Xabi Alonso already has that love, but he also has and is showing such good signs that, of course, Bayern Munich want him.
True.
The way he's absolutely developed this Bayern Leverkusen team from second to bottom, last season to top, unbeaten. Also, what he did at Real Sociedad, the B team, no one really talks about that. So he's really earned his stripes, and yeah, I think he's the only choice.
Yeah. I mean, it'll be interesting to see what he does, whether he stays at Leverkusen for one more season, or of course, as Bayern is also interested, like you mentioned, or he goes to you guys. But hey, you never know. You never know. Charlie, what's your thoughts on Liverpool's season?
Well, it's been. It can't really be much better, to be honest. They're top of the league. They're in the Carabao Cup final. They're still in the FA Cup, and they're still in the Europa League. Look, it's not been. I don't want to say perfect because nothing's ever perfect, but it's gone pretty much as well as it possibly could have. They've been exceptional, playing great football, top players, top manager. Look, is it a surprise? Maybe to a degree, given how last season wasn't that great, missed out on qualifying for the Champions League. But you know that Liverpool kind of has too much quality to stay in that position for too long. And look, they're a very good team. Simple as that. They couldn't be doing much better. Yes, they would have liked to have had a Caicedo or a Lavia, but ultimately, like, they're top of the league anyway. So how much real difference would that have made to their season? I don't really know. So yeah, look, you can't. There's not really anything bad to say about Liverpool and the way they're playing and how well they're doing as a club this season.
Yeah, no, spot on, 100%. Else, as I asked Charlie the same question in regards to what he thought was going to be the key players for Chelsea, I want to ask you the same question as well. Who do you think will be the key players for Liverpool in this cup final?
I'm going to go on the players I think will 100% play, because Darwin and Salah are obvious. Darwin with his threat in behind, and Salah because he's Mo Salah. But key players, I think Endo will be a key player. We missed him when he was gone, especially in that Arsenal game. He's just so good at the simple things. He's just a proper DM, combative, tackles really well. I think he's very underrated in his passing. Technically, he has a shot on him as well. So I think him and McAllister in the midfield are going to be very key. Kelleher in goal, because regardless of if Alisson was fit, Kelleher would have played. He played really well in the last cup final, so I'm hoping he can replicate it this year. He is a top keeper. Had a bit of a rusty start, probably because he hasn't really got in any rhythm, didn't really play much, but I think he'll be huge. Connor Bradley, again, replacing the likes of Trent, completely different player, but the energy that he brings, he's playing with so much confidence. And also Diaz, because Diaz had a bit of a 50-50 game yesterday. So he was very wasteful in the first half, but second half he got his goal. But I think he has to carry Liverpool because he's the starter in the front three. He's probably 100% going to play, and he needs to kind of carry that weight and responsibility. So everyone really is key, but I think if I was to pick a couple players, probably the midfield again, as Charlie said, the midfield battle, and Diaz for sure.
Yeah. Also, there came in some questions here. So Bart asked, has Darwin evolved under Klopp? He's an interesting player, by the way. Bless his heart. That's
Darwin, I wouldn't say he's necessarily evolved. I just think he's settled and he's become more confident. I think even from last season, we could see what he was about. He's as quick as anything. He's got everything you need to be a top striker, but it is his finishing just let him down. And sometimes it does let him down this season. But I think what has improved is his off the ball participation. So he's got a lot of assists as well with his goals. And also he just looks, his movement is just exceptional, where no matter if he's in, because even in the Chelsea game, the 4-1, he missed so many opportunities. So even when he's in that kind of finishing form, we wouldn't have won 4-1 without him because of the assists he provides, because of the space he provides. So yeah, he's got better, but I think that was always going to come with confidence.
Because what's interesting, the goal was it against Brentford where he did that chip?
Yeah. Yeah, that is Darwin to a T, because
it was so good, by the way.
It was exceptional, but as Michael Owen tweeted, it's not a finish you do like in front of a goalkeeper that's standing up high. You go around him, but that is Darwin. He does the harder things really well, and the simple things is 50-50. But he's high on confidence, and I'm really happy for him. I just hope that he continues to improve, really, because the fans love him. We all love him. The way that the fans sing his name, it's like almost that guaranteed, he'll be that guaranteed superstar if he can rise to that level, 100%. Right?
Yeah. Also, there was another one. Haven't really talked that much about or Hakpo, however you say his name, but what's about him? How can Klopp get the best out of him?
Gakpo's a bit of a dilemma, because when he was playing for PSV, he was very much a winger, but I never thought, and we haven't really played him as a winger. He usually plays in the 9, which is a bit of a problem because you've got Darwin, you've got Jota, and in my opinion, I think Gakpo is best in the 9. But this season, he's kind of been playing all over the place. He hasn't had a fixed position, which means he just hasn't really got going. But as we saw yesterday, he has quality. And he can get goals. It's just about him playing consistently. I don't know where he's going to play. I don't think it really matters anymore because Klopp is going. But whoever the new manager is, if you're going to get the best out of Gakpo, you have to play him and play him in a single position.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's been scoring a little bit now that he's kind of been called upon. So getting into a little bit of a rhythm could potentially show up. You
I
never
hope
know.
so. This is the best time because Darwin is out and he needs to step in. You have to take your opportunity.
Yeah.
And Klopp will do that. Like if you're performing, he'll play you. And of course Jota's out as well. So this is the time, this is the opportunity to step up
Yeah,
and
to
cement your
step
place
up.
in the team. So I really hope he can do that. I think he's a really good player. And he has a little bit of Bobby about him. And Bobby was my favorite player, so that's why I very much gravitate towards him. So yeah, I hope he can get on form. I hope he can obviously perform in the final because we're going to need him. But yeah, just has to nail down a position.
100. Yeah, spot on, spot on. Question for both here. We'll start with you, Charlie. Where in the game will both the teams have the most joy?
I think Chelsea can have joy if they can beat Liverpool's press. I think we've got players that can cause damage. Players have got pace. The likes of Jackson, Cole Palmer, and Nkunku if he plays. Enzo Fernandez, getting on the ball from deep. His range of passing is exceptional. He's added a few goals to his game. I'll probably say we can beat the press, and getting in behind is probably where we're gonna be able to have the most joy.
Okay, and the same to you, Els? I'm going to probably give a bit of a different answer. I think maybe experience for us, because sometimes in the cup final, you kind of need that experience. And I think Chelsea, I'm not sure Thiago Silva is playing.
No, he's probably going to be, if he's fit, he'll be on the bench. I think it's highly unlikely he starts.
Yeah, I think that's big because you need your experienced players out there. Because, of course, we have the likes of Virgil there and we have experience all over the park. But it's I think if you're talking about tactically, if Darwin is to play, 100% in behind. I think a few weeks ago, that's where we got the most joy from Chelsea, the amount of space they left in behind. But also the midfield battle. I think Endo and McAllister is such a shame that Curtis Jones is injured, because I would have been very confident if he was fit. But it will either be Elliott or Gravenberch. Less confident, but I think if we can win that battle, I think we've got a really good chance.
Yeah, because with Gravenberch, it's a little bit shaky. He's a decent player, but you haven't really seen the best of him just yet.
I really think Gravenberch is weird. It's one of those where sometimes I don't think he realizes the talent he has. Like, he's so big. He's really big. He's built as a perfect footballer. He's got the technique. But I just think that sometimes his confidence, because I saw a little bit of a different side to him yesterday where things didn't really come off, but he was very combative. And that's a positive because always what we see from Gravenberch, or what we have seen, is his qualities on the ball. Hasn't been consistent, but off the ball is where we were a bit concerned because a Klopp team, the principle is off the ball, how you're pressing. But yeah, I think he's a bit of a diamond in the rough, so we might have to wait a bit to see his best.
Yeah.
But again, another one where probably the new manager will have to develop him, but he 100% has the potential.
Oh yeah, no, I hear it. I would love to hear how you guys would want each of your managers to set up the team. So starting with you, Charlie, how would you want Poch to set up the team? Who will he be starting in your view? I mean, obviously the managers are going to do what they want to do, but I want to hear your thoughts regardless.
I mean, for me, there's no. I just play the same team that played against Man City at the weekend. There doesn't need to be any changes. The only change you could probably say is would Christopher Nkunku come in, but he's not been starting recently. He's been used mainly from the bench. So for me, it'll probably be the same team. But if there's one change to be made, maybe Nkunku comes in for Sterling. But I would personally do that. But if I'm thinking about what the manager's going to do and what we're most likely to see, I think it will just be the same team that we saw against Man City, because we put in a very good performance, and there's not really any reason to switch anything up.
Yeah, absolutely. You did well, so why not just keep going with the same team, of course. And the same question to you as well, Els.
Ideally, with players that could make it, I would go Kelleher, Bradley, Kanate to come back in with Virgil, Gomez. I would put in. It's really tough between him and Robert.
Yeah.
McAllister, Endo, Elliott in midfield, and I would put Salah, Darwin, Gakpo. But if Darwin and Mo can't make it, then Gravenberch comes in and Elliott goes forward.
Yeah. I think that sounds like both very good, decent for what you have right now in your disposal. I think that sounds very fair, for sure. As we move a little bit away from the Carabao Cup final, I would love to hear, how do you guys predict now, from what we see so far in the latter stages of the season, where do you think you'll end up? Will it be a trophy for one of you guys? I mean, for Chelsea, this opportunity is, the Carabao Cup. You're still in the FA Cup, right?
Yeah, we're still in the FA Cup, yeah.
You're still in. So that's still another opportunity, of course. But will it be a trophy for both of you guys? Will Liverpool win the league? A last little remontada for Jurgen Klopp? Thoughts?
I think Liverpool will end up with at least one trophy this season. Whether it's even if they were to lose on Sunday, they'll pick up one of the Europa League, the league, or the FA Cup. I don't know which one, but I would be shocked if Liverpool didn't win anything this season. Just with the way they're playing, the level, like the competitions they're still in, how advanced they are in those competitions. So even if they were to ultimately miss out on Sunday, I'd be shocked if they didn't win something else, because they're more than good enough to win the FA Cup, and they're more than good enough to win the Europa League. The league will be tough, but I'd be shocked if they went home empty-handed. And for Chelsea, I think, well, we've got two chances. We've got this one, and we still got the FA Cup. I'd like to be confident and say we'll end up with one trophy. It'll be obviously it'll be one of the domestic cups. I don't know which one, but I think we'll end up with something this season, just because it just seems to be the Chelsea way when things aren't going well and there's like a lot of discourse around the club and it's kind of a bit chaotic. We seem to just, pick a trophy up here and there. So I think we'll end up with something, but I'm not sure which one it will be.
Yeah, no, I hear it. It's the same to you as well, Els.
I think Chelsea will end up finishing at least in the top 7.
Okay.
Yeah. I think they'll end the season. I think they'll end the season well. They've shown inconsistencies, but I even think with possibly less games, because obviously this competition is coming to its end, that more time in training, more time to get Poch's way, and probably more time for him to understand his squad, and they'll probably pick up a few more victories. I do think they'll get better towards the end of the season. For Liverpool, in my opinion, it's either going to go really, really well or really, really bad. I don't think there's an in-between. I think we'll either win the league and maybe a couple of others, or not win anything. Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah. Okay.
I don't think it'll be in between. Wow. Yeah. I just think with the whole Klopp thing and this whole documentary, it's either going to go really well or really bad.
Or that is a good point.
Yeah, the injuries will certainly put an interesting spin on it.
Of course.
But I think if we can get to the City game and beat them, yeah, I think we'll win it. But yeah, still a way to go.
Yes, definitely, for sure. I hear it. Do you think, with the club news, was it a bit too early, or do you think if you could choose, would you want the news to come a little bit later in the season, maybe towards the end?
I've been thinking about
Or
this, but I don't think
yeah,
that would be an ideal time to ever announce it.
yeah,
Because technically the club knew in November.
yeah.
I probably would have rather heard earlier actually,
Mm-hmm.
because I don't know, just more time to sink in. Because now it just seems like every day is like one day closer to him going. I think if we heard at
Yeah,
the end of the season, I would have been devastated because it's like,
that
yeah, you
yeah,
don't really appreciate it. But I don't know. I think, as I said, that's why I think the season will either go really well or really downhill. Because
mm-hmm.
will it give more motivation to the players? I hope so. I really hope so. Because I went into the season thinking, and up until he announced that he's leaving, I was like, oh, this title race will be fun. I don't think there's much pressure on us because I think we're a new team and we'll be back next season with Klopp. I was like,
Yes,
yeah, we'll win it next season. But
yeah.
now he's going. I need us to
Then
win that.
surely,
Yeah,
yeah,
I need us to win that for him, even
yeah,
if it might not necessarily be that team we were in 1920, or I don't think
mm-hmm.
we have to be, but yeah, we've got to give it a go and win it. But I don't think there'll be an ideal time. But
Mm-hmm.
just have to try and accept it because still, I can't even. Yeah, it hasn't sunk in yet. But
I mean, hey, I felt the same way when Fergie left. So even though that
yeah,
was more so towards the
exactly,
end, but still,
exactly.
hey, that was our guy, and Jurgen is your guy. So
Mhm.
I hear it. Salah though, could he be leaving as well?
Um, I don't think so. I don't think so. I think the whole Saudi League thing, of course, the money will be pretty hard to turn down. But if Salah says
Yeah.
no, he will not. He won't go. But I just think that Salah is very obsessed with records. He's very
Mm-hmm.
obsessed at still playing at a top level, and I
Yeah.
think I think he's now in the top 10 Premier League scorers of all time. I think he'll want to try and get, because I think he can get about fourth.
Oh wow,
So yeah,
that'd
yeah,
be a
yeah. So
remarkable achievement.
for real, so he'll be chasing records. But yeah, if we get 200 million, the club are not going to say no. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I would say no because I don't know who's going to come in and be as good as Mo Salah, but yeah, I think
Mbappe,
he'll stay. Mbappe's
as the
got to be
streets
really
say.
good.
I mean,
Nah,
I know, but I see some Liverpool fans, you know,
I
in the
would
socials.
honestly, this Mbappe thing. I pray he goes to Madrid now because I just want this to end. I'm fed up.
I'm
I'm fed
tired
up
of
of
it.
having that
We're
false
tired
hope.
of this.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
real.
No, I hear it. I hear it. Yeah, 100%. Which, Charlie, I mean, you guys, of course, the squad has been a bit all over the place, but there's still an exciting core there regardless. There's still some good players there, at least for me looking as a neutral. What do you need in order to better yourself and start in a in a fresh way next season? What do players need?
We need a centre forward, like a reliable centre forward, a regular source of goals. For me, I'd be having Ivan Toney. I think he'd be perfect for us. He's got the quality, knows the Premier League, is a goal scorer. You know, it's the right profile of player for us. That physical presence at the top end of the pitch, the sort of the profile of striker that we've had success with. You know, in that kind of Drogba, Diego Costa mold. So him, I think we need a centre back. Silva will leave in the summer, as will Trevor Chalobah. So one will need to come in. We don't need a starting centre back, but a squad centre back. And then I think a left back as well, because I imagine that Mark Correa will probably be sold in the summer as well. So I'd say three positions: centre back, left back, and striker. And then the rest may be dependent on like a one in, one out basis. So if we were to lose any, then maybe someone would come in to replace. But yeah, those are the three areas. But the striker is the most important one. We have to get a number 9 sorted.
Yeah, But you mentioned Ivan Toney, and I 100% rate. I mean, I would love to have him at Man United, so that says a lot. But I've been hearing, you guys been linked with Victor Osimhen. You didn't mention him. Is that's a no for
Look,
you, or maybe?
It's not a no. Like if he ends up at Chelsea, I'm not going to be disappointed about it. But
Mhm.
I just don't think he's as good as a lot of people make out. Look, there's clearly ability there, and he's a good player. But I just think people make him out to be much, much better than he is. Look, he had an exceptional season last season for Napoli, scoring all those goals as they won the Serie A title. Fantastic. But if we're being honest, like that's been his only good season in his career. If we're talking about top seasons, now I'm not diminishing him, but anyone can put one good season together. You need to see it on a consistent basis. Now, look, he's one of the best number 9s out there and one of the best around, but I need to see a bit more from him. I'm not as convinced that it's the right fit for Chelsea. And I think I look at him and look, yeah, the market's ridiculous. And yes, it would be a release clause. But I think if you're looking at over 100 million for Osimhen, I just don't think he's worth that money. I'd rather spend 70 or 80 million pounds on Ivan Toney. At least I know for me, there's more. You can never get guarantees of anyone, but for me, there's more of a guarantee that Toney is a success than Osimhen is. So look, if he ends up coming, great, exciting player, good player, I just don't think it's as good a fit for Chelsea as people might think. And I just don't think he's as good as a lot of people make out. Look, he's clearly a very good player, but people saying he's world class and stuff. I just don't think he's at that level yet.
Yeah, no, you have a fair point there. I mean, had a very underwhelming AFCON. A lot of people expected to see a lot more for him. I feel like it probably just hasn't been the same since his injury. I've been watching Serie A here and there, and with Napoli, obviously they've fallen off a cliff since last season with winning the Scudetto, and from where they are now, wow, it's a very big difference, of course. But else for you with Liverpool? I mean, the squad is looking very good, but of course, as we've been talking about throughout the show, there has been some injuries here and there. Um, is there any type of reinforcements that you guys need to make in regards to going forward to next season, regardless of whether you win this season or you don't, to push forward? What do you need?
I think possibly another centre back, just because Matip, I think he's out of contract now, so he obviously got his ACL injury, and I don't see us giving him a new contract. So definitely a centre back, probably a DM. It's not like high priority because Endo's doing pretty well, but I think someone in there that can challenge him, develop maybe a young DM, probably in the mold of like a Fabinho, hopefully, to come in a few years' time, because Endo is around 30, 31. So maybe someone more in the long term.
That old? I
yeah,
thought he was younger.
Yeah. He's
Bless him. That's some good genes. I swear I thought he was younger.
He doesn't look it at all.
Wow.
I don't know. Forward line looks pretty good.
If Salah leaves, hypothetically, let's just say if he leaves, who do you? I mean, obviously, you did say it would be difficult. Who else would? If you don't get Mbappe, and nobody else will really be replacing him to that level, of course. But can somebody be maybe a potential prospect to maybe prosper, not in that high regard, but that can do a job on that right-hand side? Anybody?
It's difficult because I don't think we're going to find a like-for-like replacement if I'm looking at the best or even right wingers that are up and coming. Like I think about like someone like Leao, and unfortunately he plays on the other side. So it's like it's annoying because we have quite a lot of players on the left side.
Exactly.
So this has actually been a problem for a while where we've only really got Salah on that right side. Not even out of like, there's no one in the world that can come and back him up, or it's just that the market at the moment, like
it's poor.
I can't
keep it 100. It's poor. Yeah.
I can't think of many.
Would you be okay with the Jared Bowen? Or do you think it's Like
It's his
maybe
age. How old
underwhelming.
is he now? How old is he?
Is he
He's,
26 or something?
he's not that old.
He's
Yeah,
not that old, but I'm just thinking
it's like yeah.
the price that he'll go for now, because Liverpool were looking at him a couple years ago. Liverpool always go for like maybe in the mold of 23, 25, bring them in at that age. And for I don't even know what price West Ham are gonna
Yeah, he did
want.
contract not that long ago, I think, as well. But it is a shout, maybe.
It's a shout, but FSG won't do it. Like, it was a
That's the
shock of our
thing.
lives. It was a shock of our lives that we bid 115 million for Caicedo. It was the shock of our lives. So I
That was
don't see it.
madness.
Yeah. But yeah, it's gonna be hopefully it'll be Jabby, but
Mhm.
he plays like a different brand of football. It
Of
depends
course.
on what he wants, but
Yeah.
I'm still quite confident Salah will stay. But if there could be room for maybe one more, even like a Pedro Neto, or even though he's
I
always
want him though.
injured.
Else, sorry, but I want
Yeah.
him at Man United.
I would love Pedro Neto, even Olise, but these
Yeah,
players they're injury prone, and it's like
that
if
is
you're
an
going to
issue.
replace Salah, who's normally never injured,
hmm
it's a hard market at the moment. So
Yeah.
I'm confident he'll stay, but if he goes, we have a tough task. We're gonna have more money than options, a lot more money than options in terms of what we're
Yeah.
gonna do with it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's like what you mentioned with FSG.
hmm
Let's just say he does go, and of course you'll get lots of money for him, but will
hmm
they be able to properly, use that money to get the players that they need, or will they just be like,
hmm
you know, we'll buy one here, but not.
This is the
That's the
thing.
kind of
Like,
question.
we haven't even got a sporting director. We've got a lot of things. We've got a lot of things off the field to a point before we even go and try and scout the market for players. But as soon as we get the sporting director, as
Mhm.
soon as we get a manager, and FSG are usually very good at, like, because we're very self-sustaining in terms of, if you get money for a player, they'll put it back. They'll give us the money to reinvest in the squad. But yeah, it's completely about the new manager, what they need, because Jabby is more of a three at the back kind of player, and our squad isn't really set up like that, so we might have to look at a left back. So
Mhm.
yeah, or a left centre back. So there's a lot up in the air. So as soon as that becomes clearer,
Yeah.
then we'll definitely look to bolster the squad. But as I said, a centre back and a young DM is definitely priorities, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see where Chelsea will be and where Liverpool will be next season.
Mm.
Even with Man United, what we're going through as well, it's a lot happening. But for the remaining minutes of the show, I would love to hear you guys' prediction. Charlie, go ahead.
It's a tough one to call. 'Cause you very rarely get massively one-sided finals and huge score lines. I think it'll be tight. If it's done in 90, I think it'll be a one goal either way. Maybe a 1-0 or a 2-1.
Mhm.
But if I had to go for a prediction, I think it could go to penalties again.
Okay.
Which is anyone's game. But I'd like to think we wouldn't lose 3 times in a free on the spin on penalties to Liverpool. So I'd back a Chelsea win on penalties, but it's more out of hope really than genuine expectation. But I think it will go the distance.
Okay. And else?
Um, I don't see either team keeping a clean sheet. I don't see that. So I think it will be done in the 90. I say Liverpool just edge it through their off the bench reinforcements. I think Darwin and Salah will come on in the game. So
Yeah.
close 2-1 for me.
Yeah, you know what? Prior to your game yesterday, I was thinking, surely this should be Chelsea's moment, right? It's an opportunity to do it, strike while the iron is hot. But after that performance yesterday, I was like, yo, I think Liverpool could. I don't want it. Mark my words, I do not want Liverpool to win. I don't want it. But I gotta be honest. I have a feeling that you guys might win 2-1 as well. I don't know. But we will be there though, regardless. We will be watching.
We will.
But yeah, I want to thank both of you guys once again to taking the time of your day to join the stream. It was a blast, lovely conversation, great debate with both of you guys to hear your thoughts about each of your teams, and may the best team win in the cup final. I just hope, as a neutral, I just want it to be a good game. Just give me some entertainment, something, please. That's all. But else, where can the people find you?
You can find me either being hounded on Sunday because we lost, or shouting on top of the roof because we have so many Chelsea fans on our pod, on Gold Diggers UK, and just on Twitter, LFCLs, just tweeting about Liverpool. Yeah.
Well, big up. And Charlie, shout out your stuff.
Yes, you can find me over on Chelsea Fan TV, and you can also find me on my personal channel, which is on the screen at Blue Brother CFC. So yeah, check out both those places.
Yes, big up. Once again, people, as I said earlier on and throughout the show, I have both of those socials as well in the description box. So make sure, if you're watching this on a replay, give them a follow, subscribe, and do all the good stuff. I'll be back tomorrow to do a preview for Man United versus Fulham, and of course also give my thoughts on the whole ownership thing, because there's a lot of stuff. But yeah, big up everybody. Like, share, and of course subscribe. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace out. Bye-bye.